Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Farmer. I'm the festival director of Out on Film, Atlanta's LGBTQ film festival. This is our 38th year, and we have some amazing programming this year. One of the films that we all love a whole lot is Lakeview. It screens Sunday, September the 20th at 6:15 at the Midtown Arts Cinema. We have the director and a lot of cast members today, so I'm going to read a brief description of the film, and then we're going to chat with everybody involved. Lakeview. Lakeview is a vibrant, heartfelt queer ensemble comedy that celebrates friendship, freedom, and the joy of self-discovery. Set against the backdrop of a girls' weekend convened to mark a transformative divorce, Lakeview gets into the lives of a close-knit group who are navigating the hurdles of life and love and a picturesque retreat. Directed by Tara Thorne, the film captures both the excitement of newfound freedom and the bittersweet nostalgia of letting go. Lakeview is a refreshingly authentic portrayal of modern relationships infused with warmth and hilarity. Thank you all for joining us. Why don't we let everybody go around the Zoom room and introduce themselves? We'll start with Tara.
I'll start. Yeah. Hi, I'm Tara. I'm the writer and director.
Now we go to Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm the producer and I also play Lauren.
Oh, great. Lesley.
Hi, I'm Lesley Smith, and I played Darcy.
Okay, great. Is it pronounced? I'm sorry, Faly?
Faly.
Faly. Hey, Faly, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Faly, and I play Phoebe.
Okay, great. And is it Hilary?
It's Hilary.
Hilary, okay.
Hilary Adams, and I play Dax.
Okay, great. Thank you all so much for talking today. This is such a great film, but Tara, just sort of, talk to us about the origins of this and how you put it all together.
Yeah, Leslie and Hill and Kat McCormick, who is not here, we're all in our the first film Nicole and I made together, which is called Compulsus, and it's a very serious movie about a lesbian vigilante. But everyone's really funny and was having a lot of fun in between takes, and I really wanted to do something that was just more fun, even though I think Lakeview is ultimately deeply sad to me anyway. I think there's a lot of fun on the way. So that was really where it came from, just wanting to work with some of the same people again
Yeah,
and wanting to laugh.
exactly. This is obviously very much an ensemble, a character piece. So why don't we talk to some of the performers to get their takes on the characters? We'll start with Nicole. Tell us about your character.
Sure. My character is Lauren, and she's kind of feels little midlife crisisy. She's dating a younger woman and introducing her to her friends for the first time, which is kind of awful. And yeah, she's just trying to navigate that and hold on to who she is, I think.
Lesley.
Yeah, Darcy, like the weekend that you see with this group of friends, is to celebrate her recent divorce. And I think there's a lot of relief she's found in the divorce, but also I think there's a lot of sadness that she maybe is trying to mask with her friends at some points, but they know her really well, and I think a lot of them see through that. And I think she loves her friends very deeply.
Faly.
Yeah, I play Phoebe. She is the other side of the Nicole Lauren coin, the young one in the group, meeting everybody for the first time, and which is always kind of a daunting experience, especially when you're quite different from the other folks and have to find new ways to relate. And I think she spends a lot of the film kind of balancing her own sense of freedom with being able to be there for the people that matter to her.
Okay. And Hilary.
Yeah, I play Dax, and she's a little bit more isolated from the rest of the group. She's an indie star and is very much in love with Darcy. And which you find out, it's not a spoiler, you find it out.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and yeah, she's just, trying to find love and and she also loves her friends very fiercely. So she's just like going back for this weekend and reconnecting with friends and trying to um, make her love known to one of her best friends.
All these performances seem to have lived in. It's sort of, I mean, had you all known each other? I mean, obviously you've worked together, but I mean, how long have some of you known each other?
A lot of you for a long time.
Okay, because you can really tell. I mean, you can really
Yeah.
tell.
Like I think even like JB and Steph Clark, who came on a little bit later into things, I actually like I did theater school with them when we were all kids. So like it was so nice to kind of reconnect with them on set as well.
So
And
Tara,
you've known Kat for a million years. Sorry, Nicole. We both known Kat for a long time too, and Hell as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
so Tara, I wanted to ask you because I mean, there's some complexity in some of the backstories and the characters who've known each other for a while and the ups and downs of all this. But did you, did you write these characters for all these people, or did you sort of write these characters and then sort of mold them? How did that work out?
It was sort of half and half because
Okay.
Lesley is very funny, but she didn't get to be very funny in Compulses. She wished it where she could, but it's just not very funny. And Hilary's very funny too, but she doesn't get to be funny in Lakeview. I didn't really set you up well. Uh, so those characters were both for them, and this is sort of a split between the half the people we knew, and so Faly and Steph and Jessica
Yeah.
who play Julianne and Lucy. They were all new actors to me. So it was a nice way to sort of mix known quantities with exciting newness for sort of I was a little bit nervous about kind of throwing everyone together and see how the ensemble would click, but it worked really well, or if it didn't, no one told me. So it looks like it worked well, right? Yeah.
We're here today to break the news to Tara.
Lesley, there's sort of I guess anticipation or uncertainty whether your character is going to show up or not. And then when Darcy shows up, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. But sort of talk about how Darcy is showing up, sort of complicates things and sort of mixes up what is already going on.
I think you flipped it. Dax is the one that shows up.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry.
that's okay. You got a lot to manage.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So I think, there's half of the group that wants Dax to be there and half
Yeah.
that doesn't. And I actually came in late to filming.
Okay.
And so I think that in its own really added to that, like isolation of Dax
Yeah.
and who she is as a character. But for sure, when she shows up, she kind of just like she has this objective, and there's all of these other people who want something. Everybody wants something else,
Exactly.
and so it's kind of this battle to see who will get what they want, and she kind of is a shit disturber, and just goes after what she wants, no matter the consequence.
Yeah.
And it causes quite a few heartbreaks or hurt feelings and laughs and along the way. So it's kind of like the mic drop that everybody is kind of like, who's gonna catch the ball, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think she's kind of a bit of an asshole, frankly. It's just, I always say, like, there's a line where it's like that Lesley says, where it's like Dax was like a grenade, and it's true. And I got a lot of shit for how late in the script process about how late Dax comes into the movie. I think it's page 45 or something, so it's like top of the second act, which is quite late to introduce a protagonist.
Yeah.
And so like Telefilm, who was our major funder, they were like, you sure you want that? You sure you want to do that? You sure you want it to be so late? And I think the whole movie changes when she does show up. So it's sort of nice to have that chill, fun half hour where everyone's getting along and having a good time, and then it all goes to hell. I think it works really well.
Faly, so Phoebe is fairly new to the group. I mean, can you sort of talk about how your character sort of, learns the ropes of who everyone is and what's going on and what is going on in the past and sort of makes sense of all that?
How my character makes sense of
Yeah,
all of those different things.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Tara wrote it so well and introduced it so well, and that there are so many funny kind of things that she can be a part of and glean from, and she does, a lot of listening and a lot of asking questions, and I think that also maybe adds to the comedy of like she's like the one that's like, oh, that's a thing. Oh, okay, great, so she kind of can take the audience on that journey with her, which is really fun. And I think it was cool because, as you talked about before. A bunch of these people knew each other before, but I actually didn't. I was very much the new person coming in. I think the only person I knew was I'd done a play with JB like 2 months earlier, and then Nicole, we'd worked on a project like a few months before that and stuff, but everybody else was very new to me. So it was kind of fun to like play that and be like, oh, I'm the odd one out, and like I kind of am. Like I'm the weird one who's just from elsewhere. Yeah.
Tara, so in putting this together, I mean, you know, there are some comic moments, and then there's some more dramatic moments. How did you sort of put it together in terms of balancing you know the fact that again there's humor here, but there's also some bittersweet moments which how did you sort of stitch that together?
It was actually quite difficult. My editor was like, "What's the tone?" And I was like, "I hoped you would tell me." And she's like, "No, that's not what I'm here for." It was really hard. I would say the movie was, and Nicole can attest to this. It was like a lot slower and longer. It was like 10 minutes longer
Yeah,
because Amy Milky, who is our editor, is a comedian herself. So she was cutting for comedy, and I was like, no, no, no. And every edit I put back in was like, let that go longer, let that take more time, and we ended up taking it all out. I think, isn't that true, Nicole? Like we cut like all the slowness, all the space I put in, we ended up taking back out because it kind of dragged the movie down. Like it really, when you can fight it, you can fight against what the movie wants to be, but it's sort of a mistake. And Amy was right. I will give her that. But the tone was hard for me too because it started out a lot funnier than it ended up, and so there was a part of me that didn't want to let go of the sad part, but it was hard to find a balance.
There were definitely other drafts too that were real bummers. Like it was quite sad a few drafts before, and I think it found more of its comedy as you went along as well.
Well, and they did ask me, one of the funders asked me to do a comedy punch up pass. So, it was something that was top of mind. No, I mean, nobody killed themselves or anything like in earlier drafts, but it was just like it was bleak.
but let's talk about that because I something that we as programmers always do, and I talk to programmers all the time all over the world, and there were a lot of years where lesbian films, women's films, they were dour, and people had to die, and
Hmm.
I'm just so happy now that we can have movies like this where people don't have to die, and there's comedy and humor and joy. But can you sort of talk about the era where we're in right now, where we can have that? No one has to die at the end.
Yes, that's like one of my things, and I used to talk about that with Compulsus a lot too, or because that was also a contemporary relationship between a lesbian and a bisexual woman, and there was no, there's no coming out, there was no no one was in the closet, no one was estranged from their family. Like the fact that they were queer did not affect their lives in a negative way, and I think that does still happen, and I don't think we should discount it. But as someone in their mid 40s, I'm not interested in exploring that myself. So it is really nice, and traveling with the movie for the past year and seeing the variety of queer films that are out there, like all around the world. I do think we've come so far with that, where it's like it's yes, it's gay, but it's just about life.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone whose like favorite lesbian movie is The World to Come. Again, someone dies at the end of that. They always do. But not on my watch unless it's a man. Which Lesley murders a man in the first movie. Spoiler.
And when I was growing up many decades ago, I mean, the movies I grew up with in the 70s and 80s were, ensemble movies where it was about people coming together. And so much of today is about CGI and superheroes. And I love this kind of music. But just for my performers, just sort of talk about getting a chance to be in a movie like this, where it is really about character and ensemble and working together and just about people talking to each other and interacting.
Well, I'll say for me, because I was the producer and I'm usually on the other side of things, I rarely get a chance to act. So it was so wonderful for me, especially because the group of women that I was acting with were so like generous and kind, and it was really, really fun. So yeah, I just feel so grateful that I got to do a little more of that and kind of realize that I love to do that.
And she won an award, by the way, at our hometown award show, Screen Nova Scotia Award for Best Performance. So,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about the ensemble nature of this?
Yeah, it was such a warm space, and Tara picks everybody so specifically. And I remember doing this one scene with Kat McCormick, and Lesley was a champ at this too. Like everybody was a champ at like improvising. And Tara would at least at the end of the one scene would be like, "Can we just get the way that I wrote it? Like, can we just one take?" And because everyone was just having so much fun and there was such freedom to like, really inhabit your character and bring a little bit of yourself to the character, which I think really reads watching it. You could really tell that people were comfortable, and it was a group of friends. Like it was this group of friends that is all getting together with all of their bad qualities and good qualities. So I think that really comes across. But that's all because Tara and Nicole like really led such a great movie set.
Yeah, I would also say too, because having the privilege of working with Tara on two of her scripts, because I'd say with both films there was a little like the freedom and flexibility given to us of like, do you want to do something a little different on this take? But particularly with this, like I love comedy, and we would do scenes, and then there'd be like one line, and Tara would be like, "Do you want to just do a series of just this one line of just like whatever you want to improvise?" Which really was a dream come true. And I think in the end, when I watched the film, in almost every instance, it ended up being the take with the original line. But just the like the feeling of fun and like and that freedom and Tara's trust in us to kind of like, what do you get? Uh, hit me with what's funny. Yeah. Or try.
Lesley loves the series. Yeah, I'd be like, Lesley, do you want to do this? And she'd go, yeah, before I even finished saying what I wanted the series to be. You love that shit.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it was play. It's
Sorry,
playful.
my internet connection is bad. Yeah, it was very playful and fun.
Tara, you've had a very strong festival run this year. Can you talk about the festival experience and getting this film out there and seeing this? I've not seen this with an audience. I'm looking forward to seeing this in my festival with an audience because I watch a lot of my films on my computer or on my TV, but I love seeing the.
Yeah.
What's it like seeing this with a crowd? I mean, as you've done the festival circuit this year.
I find it very stressful. And if I'm by myself, as I am in Chicago tonight, I don't watch it.
Okay.
But if the actors are there, they usually want to watch it. So I'll stay with them. So we played in Toronto at Inside Out, and it was 4 p.m. on a Sunday, and it was raining, which is good, as you know, good weather for a film festival. And we were all there, and that was the first time that it ever happened. We world premiered at home at the Atlantic Film Festival, but Hill couldn't come because she was working elsewhere. And so it was the first time that we'd all been together, and the vibes were so, so, so good, and so joyous. And I find it stressful because in the comedy parts, you can hear them laughing, obviously, but in the drama, you don't know. And Nicole and I went to Australia for the international premiere, and we had an interview during like the funny part. So we came in halfway, and I was like, I could not ascertain the vibe. And there were lots of people like whispering to each other behind us, and I was like, I think they hate Dax. And so at the end, I was like, do you guys hate Dax? And they were like, no, I can't do accents. So I get very stressed. It's not good for me to go in the audience, but it's really nice to just like talk to people afterward because with the death of media, we have not gotten many proper reviews. So all I've got is Letterboxd, and that's not anything. That's not a lifeline. So it's nice to be on the ground with people who have just seen it and getting their reactions. So, we've had, Lesley and I got to see it in London in the best movie theater I've ever been in, BFI South Bank. Huge. They showed the Oscars from there in the COVID year. Beautiful, sold out crowd, and it was really, really fun. But I mostly am panicking.
So, as you're nearing your festival run, will this where will people be able to see the film in the future?
That's a that's a great question. If there are any distributors in Atlanta who put out gay films, you should email me. We've talked to a few people. We've talked to a few distributors in the UK and in Canada and in the US, but nothing's really clicked yet. I am hopeful.
Right. My final question, and thank you all again for being part of this. This has been a lot of fun. Um, can you talk to me about why it's so important to have queer themes in your work and have queer characters and tell these stories at a time where, at least in the United States, there's so much turmoil and uncertainty about our future as people try to erase us, deny us our rights. And this is for any of you who want to talk about this.
I'll just jump in and then I'll back out. For me, it's like I saw Booksmart in 2019, and I thought if I had had this movie when I was 16, I would not have waited so long. Do you know what I mean? Like people think representation is whatever, but it's so, so important to just see yourself reflected in media, and whatever that means to you. And it's been a great privilege. And because I came out late, I realized that the earlier work that I had made um, wasn't about anything because I didn't have anything to say. But now I have shit to say. So here I am making these movies that I hope resonate and connect with people and just show you a little bit of yourself. Even if you're like, that's not how it is, that's great. It's like I just want there to be options.
Okay, great. Does anyone else have any comments on that? All right.
Stoic.
Like we can't top Tara.
I know. Said it.
All right,
There's a joke I shan't make in our closing minutes here, Lesley. Go on, go on, Jim.
Lakeview screens Sunday, September the 28th at 6:15 p.m. at the Midtown Art Cinema. It's part of Allen Film, and I'm so happy that it's part of our lineup. People are going to love it. Tara, Nicole, Lesley, Bailey, Hilary, thank you so much for not only sharing the film with us, but actually taking the time to talk to us and help us promote this film. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for taking the time. And thanks for making.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Atlanta. Thanks, Out on Film. And don't be mean to us on Letterboxd.
We won't. We won't.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. It was lovely talking to you all.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
Thanks.